Alhamdulillah, we're starting. Finally.
Oh, wow.
After all this time.
Okay, let's do it at the beginning.
Yeah, let's go. Let's just recap from the beginning a bit. So we have d4, queen's pawn opening,
Again.
and the Dutch defense. The thing with the Dutch defense is you weaken this diagonal to your king a little bit.
And there's a lot of
so it's very risky, but you see him blocking off early, so this is fine. Yeah, castles, and now we're at the current position.
Okay.
So, the Dutch defense, this is actually called the Leningrad variation, and I only know that because I've been trying to learn it myself.
Oh, really?
And I'm not even good enough to play it. So if Humam wins with this, it means he's better than me. So we'll see, inshallah. And the thing is, I can tell that Ahmed is kind of surprised because Humam has spent like 10 seconds on the first 6 moves. But Ahmed is like, he spent almost a minute. So I think Humam is a little bit more prepared, opening-wise. But again, this is like only a 1100 ready game. So just getting a good position out of the opening, you don't win the game. You still have to convert the position, right?
Even if you know the theory, a person who's...
Yeah, exactly. Even if you memorize the opening theory, you know all the best moves just in your head, you still there's still chess to be played, you know, at the end of the day.
Still intuition and stuff playing into
so far, I mean, Ahmed is fine.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, like look at, he's obviously, the reason it's plus 0.6 is because white is always a little bit better, right? White goes first, but he's not worse, which means he's holding his own in an opening that he doesn't really play.
Yeah.
So
he's just developing normally.
Yeah, exactly. E3 is very solid. You know, you kind of just support your pawns.
Also
that's why.
Up the bishop.
Yeah, exactly. And the bishop opens up. The pawns, they need to be together, right? They support each other. They're friends. So, you know, that's why, for example, doubled pawns are not so good.
Yeah.
Like, just for example, if Ahmed were to take here, these 2 pawns can no longer support each other because they're in the same row. They're sort of getting in each other's way. Yeah. And that's not what you want. Queen here is kind of a strange move.
He's just putting it on the same file as the king, I think.
Yeah, I suppose his idea is probably to play e5, you know, sort of trade in the center and open up a line towards the king. Yeah. It's not a bad move, but it's a little bit passive. And
compared
for example,
to his other pieces, which he also
exactly. In the opening, I want to see this knight out. You know, I want to see this bishop out. I don't know where this bishop is going anymore because, you know, it can't go here. Obviously, you can't eat your own piece. So is it gonna go here?
And both of these squares are kind of iffy.
Okay, Ahmed trades.
Oh, he doesn't need to double the pawns.
Yeah, exactly. But the reason I don't like that trade too much is, and exactly, you see black is already getting a little bit of advantage because, first of all, the bishop in general is just a better piece than the knight, right? The bishop, it's a long-range sort of sniper. Knights, you know, they don't have a lot of range and they take a lot of time going around the board. And when this bishop opens up and it's on this long diagonal, it's going to be a very powerful piece. And you already see Humam trying to open up that diagonal. He wants takes, you know, and then basically at the end of the day, he wants his bishop to be open and be a very strong piece. Okay, I really like this move by Ahmed though.
That's a good move.
What does this move do? You don't open the position. Now this pawn is kind of stuck and this bishop is in jail. It's never getting out, right? It's permanently blocked by this pawn. So I really like this move by Ahmed because, Sahla, when someone has a bishop, what do you do? What do they want to do?
They want to open the diagonal.
Exactly. They want to open the position. They want to shred it open with pawns so their bishops actually control distance. But here, the bishop isn't doing anything. So, and you already see that the advantage has sort of disappeared. You know, a couple moves ago, Humam was like, you know, clearly better. Yeah, you see here, like +1, it's actually like getting pretty bad. But because of this move that gives Ahmed the opportunity to close the position, the advantage is gone. And now you see the problem with this knight. I mean, going to the corner, maybe it's going to come here, but then it'll just get kicked out. Do you really want your knight to be on the edge of the board?
The knight being on the rim, it's not really doing anything right now. It's
exactly. Like, you want the knight to go here, but because you let Ahmed push, now he controls this square in your territory, and that's not something you want. But the game is equal, you know?
Castling.
But castling... Why? So let's sort of analyze this. Why is castling on the bad move? First of all, there are checks available. Not right now, because you would get taken. But potentially in the future, this diagonal to your king, you know, these squares are just a little bit open. And on top of that, what does Humam have to do in this stage? He has to use his pawns. He needs to, you know, just send the A pawn, you know, the B pawn, the C pawn. You need to use your forces to attack the enemy king. And in chess, when you castle on opposite sides, you're basically declaring war on your opponent, right? Like, Ahmed is now going to launch his pawns, try to open his rook towards the king, you know, try to open his queen towards the king, and Humam is going to do the same thing on the other side. I like this move, you know, you just attack the bishop, and Humam blunders the bishop!
Wait,
No, actually he does not blunder
Yeah.
bishop. It's fine because
Yeah.
it's protected. But for a second there, if I didn't see the rook, that would be a fork of the king and queen.
Yikes,
And the reason you don't
yikes.
lose your queen is because this is check. After you take this bishop, you
Yeah.
attack. So this is actually a good way. If you want to get out of the pin right now, you can take that bishop, and it's a perfectly good move. And that's something, in chess, it's called danger levels. Of course, after you take this, your queen is hanging. But what's worth more than a queen? The king, right? Exactly.
Okay. So Ahmed
So-
gets rid of the pin.
Okay, this is a very nasty move though. You hit the
Yikes.
bishop, you hit the queen.
Yikes.
I think you just have to slide out of the pin here
Yeah.
because it's getting very nasty. But then this pawn is,
Also
losing a
hangs.
defender. So maybe you have to go queen here to hold everything together. But you already see why the advantage is in Humam's favor because this knight, which was
There we
once
go,
a very
that's
bad
exactly-
piece, now it's actually getting in and
Yep,
attacking
it's
stuff.
actually doing things.
Okay, Ahmed plays the best move, which is good.
Ahmed has also got rid of his dark square bishop, so now his diagonal is so weak.
Yeah, exactly. And you see the lack of sort of dark squared control over here. You don't have anything controlling these squares, and that's why the king is so weak, right? Like, okay, Humam trades, bishop is generally better than knight.
Whoa,
And now taking when the rook is losing because
What
you lose the knight in one move. This knight is not protected. You had to take back with the queen to protect the knight, but now you're just losing the knight for free. And it's +7. Oh, black is completely dominating here.
Yikes,
And you attack the rook, and now you can trade. Because when you're up material, Sahla, what do you want to do?
You have to start trading all your pieces away.
Yeah, you want to trade pieces because if the opponent has, 6, 7 pieces back, even for down a piece, they can fight back. They can make the game at least hard for you to win. But when there's no pieces left on the board, it becomes very, very hard to fight back. So here, okay, Humam slides back. It's not a bad move. Trading is fine. You might as well just trade. But, there's no really need to rush this. Okay, you do drop this pawn. But the thing is, this is what we call a poison pawn. Do you really? Because now the rook is going to come. And once the rook comes, it's going to be completely open towards your king. And you see what you did by castling on the opposite sides? Where's the defense for your king? The king is completely wide open. Here, bishop is going to come. It's going to pin the rook to the king, and that's going to be very nasty.
Okay, he just moved his...
Yeah. But now, and you see it's like getting even worse. It just went from like +7 to +10 on the eval bar. And that's because the rook is coming. What happens when this pawn push? The bishop is going to come and attack that square, and it's going to get very nasty. I mean, Humam has just done such a good job here.
Yep.
And of course here, you should just trade queens. I mean, you just have to trade queens.
Trade queens.
Yeah, and you double the pawns. Yeah, and of course Humam and Ahmed.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
there
and you
it
see
is.
this move being played, just a great move. You're just coordinating all your
Attacking
pieces.
The knight at the same
Yeah,
time.
and you attack your knight. I mean,
Wow. This is a really...
this is very, very
kind
bad.
of unstoppable attack.
Yeah, I don't think Ahmed is going to be able to hold this. He doesn't even have a time advantage. He's down like a minute on the clock and down a piece. But it's not over until it's over. Humam could always blunder, so we're not giving up on him yet. But yeah, here you just got to move the knight, and there's not even a lot of good squares to go to. In fact,
Ahmed
this square,
his king away before because of this bishop.
this is actually very nasty. Right now, there's a threat of the bishop and the rook teaming up on that square.
Oh.
If you're like, oh, I have to move my knight, you move it here, you actually block your own rook. The knight, and he plays it. The knight gets in front of the rook, and now there is nothing. That's called continuity in chess. You think, oh, you just forget about this threat, and Humam immediately sees it. He's playing extremely on point right now, and yeah, I mean, if you go this way, you're sort of walking into the rook's line of sight. Anywhere the bishop moves will be check, and that's very nasty. So you have to. Okay, that's fine too. You're keeping some of the pressure on the bishop. That's just sort of a. Oh, it's check. It's check. And you're just losing another piece. Oh, you had to go here.
You could block the check with the knight though.
Oh, that's true. But the thing is, the knight is actually not defended because it's cutting off the rook.
Shoot.
Yeah, this is very nasty. You had to go king here because at least you're not walking into the bishop. But Ahmed doesn't see it. He goes into this discover check, and now you are simply going to lose the knight. You are already down a piece. You can see +3, on the material advantage. And the position, 12-point advantage.
Wow.
And I'm going to explain a little bit how the eval bar works. If you're +12, like Humam is right now, what it basically means is the opponent is going to have to sacrifice 12 points of material in order to avoid being checkmated. That's what it means. So, I mean, 12 points of material.
He has 12 points
yeah,
of material.
exactly. He doesn't even have 12 points of material left. You see Ahmed just sort of thinking here, but there's really nothing you can do because you're just going to lose the knight, and it's all over.
Unless maybe there's a really incredible tactic.
I don't really think there's anything here. because
His king is really safe too.
when you're trying to think of who's winning in chess, there's a couple of important things you need to consider. The first thing is material, right? Who is up material? Here, Humam is up material. He's up one piece already, and he's about, after pawn takes knight, he's going to be up another piece. The second thing is king safety, and I don't think this king is feeling very safe. I don't think he feels safe at all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, he's just surrounded by enemy pieces. You have the rook bearing down, you have the bishop, you have the other bishop that might be cutting off the escape. I mean, it's just very nasty. You're down material, you're down king safety, and the final thing is time, and Ahmed is not up on time either. He's down like 3 minutes.
Yikes.
And it's so unfortunate because, on last week, on Thursday, they played 2 games and Ahmed won a game. Ahmed won the first game within 10, 20 moves by checkmate. It was very dominant. And this game is just not even close to what Ahmed pulled off the other day. I mean, he's getting completely destroyed on the board here. And
I think one of his first mistakes was pushing the pawns in front of his king.
So what does he play? He moves his king. Oh, the game has been going on while we were just blabbering around.
Oh,
yeah.
Shoot.
Okay, basically, let's just do a quick recap of what happened.
Sorry, guys.
After this, king here, Humam actually tried to pin the knight, but then you get blocked, and he goes back. So Ahmed was actually able to save the knight here, but then, he just trades it off anyway. And all the pawns are falling. The bishops are just completely dominant here. And I really like this by Humam, trying to trade the rooks.
Wow.
And now we have this position where, Humam, he's eating up all the pawns because he's just up a full piece, right? And oh no, Ahmed doesn't see it. And I was about to say that one blunder usually follows another. You might not see the backwards bishop move. And now
I think Ahmed was just a desperate attempt of eating up all.
I don't want to say it, but I think it's time to resign because I mean, this move is fantastic. Just trying to trade off yet another piece here. Just take. Exactly, just take. You don't even think about it. In fact, if you want to sacrifice the bishop for a pawn just to flex, you can absolutely do it. You're still up a rook. But Humam is going to be careful. He's got the passed pawns here. He's going to push them. He's going to make a queen. And he's going to win this game. I mean,
there's just no way to stop it.
I mean, you might as well take this pawn too because it's actually check, very funnily. When the bishop moves, okay, but he's just going to give a check. And the pawns are just rolling down and they're basically impossible to stop. I mean, there's nothing you can do. This check, you go here. And it's actually a discovered check, but instead he just plays like this. Because the king, what does it have to? It has to get out of the way. And Humam makes a bishop. Humam makes 3 bishops. Oh my god, this is such bad manners. I mean, he doesn't even make. He could have 3 queens on the board right now. Instead, he's gonna make 3 bishops, 2 of the same color. And I mean, okay, you know what I want to see? I want to see you take this pawn. I want to see the rook up and over. I want to see you take this pawn, and then I want to see you make 5 bishops.
I want to see 5 bishops.
Can we get 5 bishops on the board? 5 bishops. Humam, let's see it.
Let's see
5.
it.
Another bishop. Another bishop, please.
Right now.
Light scored bishop. Let's get it. Please. Just come on, Humam. No queen. Queen is mate in 1, but we don't care about mate in 1.
No, we want 5
If you promote to a queen, it's literally mate in 1 because the bishop covers the king's escape. And it's mate in 1, but we don't care about mate in 1. We want to see a bishop promotion. Humam.
There we go.
MashaAllah. And now the bishops are just swarming in.
Let's get a 5th bishop.
It's checkmate in 4 moves. I mean, the game is completely over. Humam is just, I think, sort of bad mannering Ahmed a little bit here, just trying to prolong his misery. But the game is just completely and absolutely over. You're down 17 points of material. You're down 3 minutes on the clock. It's checkmate in 4 if he can see it.
I mean,
but
okay, now it's for another bishop.
I'm calling it. He's gonna take this bishop, move out of the way, and then make a 6th bishop or a 5th bishop. He's gonna have 5 bishops on the board. Let's see it. Come on, please.
Bishop. Let's go.
Yeah. He moves out of the way with check. Please.
5th bishop.
5th bishop. Promote that pawn. Pre-move it. Just here.
What is he thinking about?
Here, bishop. Let's see it.
What is he thinking about?
Maybe he's trying to do some calculation exercise. He's trying to calculate the mate in 2. Let's. I don't actually know here. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be some very weird mate in 2. Hey, they're trash talking Ahmed in the comments.
No.
Astaghfirullah.
Don't stand for that, guys.
No. MashaAllah. we need to give him. We need to lend him some support in the comments. Okay.
Now it's mate in 1.
Yeah, the thing is, mate in 1 is actually unavoidable here. I think bishop here is checkmate.
Yeah. Okay, now
he doesn't see it. Now he's gonna make another bishop.
Okay, then.
And what's so funny is Ahmed is actually trapped on this diagonal. Yeah, he has nowhere to go.
Let's go.
Oh my
Fifth bishop.
Ahmed is the reason this club exists. MashaAllah, so true. Founder of the Islamic chess club. Wait, if you know what's very... Oh, and that's me. What a checkmate. The king absolutely
bishops.
smothered by 5 bishops.
No
Just getting
restriction
completely
whatsoever.
laser beamed. Every square is covered.
Oh my god.
MashaAllah. Fantastic. I
It's
mean,
like a rainfall of bishops.
yeah, honestly, look, if we just go through this game very quickly, I mean,
Okay,
you...
let's look at his mistakes.
Ahmed... Yeah. The thing is, Ahmed actually played well in the
Yeah,
opening.
no.
I mean, he developed his knight. He was putting his pawns in the center to sort of control the center. But the one critical mistake came right around here, where he took back with the rook, completely forgetting about the defense of this knight. You lose the knight, and after that, I think, yeah, you can't trade the queens. You can't trade the queens. He took this pawn. Yeah.
Opening the pawn,
MashaAllah,
here
yeah.
also opened
The
the
heroes of this game were truly the bishops. I mean, just completely fearless. You know, coming into the enemy territory, just hunting this king down.
Oh my god. You know, I think that's why Ahmed hates bishops.
Yeah, and then right here, you see the power of the long range, how the opponent can just completely miss this. Just he takes the pawn thinking, you know, he's making a comeback. No, you're not making a comeback at all.
No.
And then this just completely humiliating sequence where Humam went on to promote 1 bishop, 2 bishops. Let's see the 4th bishop. And then he takes this pawn and then promotes the 5th bishop and then checkmated 1.
What do you think about this game that happened finally?
Yeah, I mean, Ahmed played well, but the thing, chess is a hard game. You know, you make one mistake and it's all over. Humam, I think he dragged it out a little bit there in the end. He didn't have to.
Humam was kind of.
He didn't have to do that,
a little
but
bit.
you know, he's trying to celebrate his win. You know,
Yeah.
mashallah, he earned it.
So, what do you think about this game that just took place?
I think it was actually Ahmed did pretty good in the beginning against Humam, but it was just that one mistake. And when you make a mistake against someone who's your own level, it can be fatal.
How do you feel, Ahmed?
I don't want to be like
How did you feel?
How do you feel? Ecstatic. That was pretty easy, honestly. I think he was nervous.
Okay. All right, we applaud our commentators.
Fantastic commentary, fantastic game, even if it was a little bit one-sided, but Ahmed, he did win a game last time. He put up a good fight. It wasn't 2-0, it was 2-1.